I missed the button on the first time, so it's actually 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. But now we're recording, and that I think is a perfectly fine introduction to the resurrection or reboot of the Live Free podcast, right? We're back by unpopular demand. I'm Zach Delfs with Live Free.
Mike. I'm Mike Barkhoff. I might have just butchered that.
It's fine.
I know I did.
We are the no, we're
We keep
professionals. We know what we're doing. This was rehearsed. It wasn't rehearsed.
we keep talking over each other. This isn't gonna be an hour and a half. This is only gonna be 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna do a podcast one day. We're gonna do one episode where it's just gonna be the two of us talking over one another. So instead of a conversation, it'll just be us talking to ourselves over top of one another, and we'll have two separate tracks, and we'll do
It,
like Avengers Endgame, where there'll be two separate videos, one with my track on top and your one with your track on top, and
it'd be easy to do too because we could just record my end and your end,
yes,
intentionally mess them up.
yeah,
Yeah. So we'll know what's being said, but the
yeah,
audience.
yeah.
It's the
It'll
best
be
way to do
fine.
it.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you, Mike?
Oh, I've been all right. I got a little cold, but I think you said you do too.
I do. I think a cold affects my voice a little bit less, though. I think it
Yeah.
isn't as noticeable. I feel like I have a cold. I can tell because my head is throbbing. But
What are you saying? I sound a lot different?
I think you just sound more nasal whenever you have a
Yeah,
cold.
I do. I'm also just holding my nose too while I'm
Oh,
talking.
I told you no one likes that Squidward impression you do, Mike. You don't listen to me. That's what I've
No,
been
I don't.
saying for the past, like, however many years we've known each other.
I like to be a free-spirited wildcat.
A wildcat.
Yes,
Not like a wild
free-spirited.
horse, because horses are scary.
I don't like carrots either.
Well, you don't like
I
carrots, bro? What the hell's wrong with you? Carrots
don't
are.
care about my eyesight.
Oh, I see. Well, I do,
Yeah,
but I still wear glasses. So
I wish I didn't have
my
it.
who needs eyes?
Yeah, exactly.
Eyes. There's a construct made by the government, man.
Yeah, they are
So, yeah,
because they're seeing what we're seeing through them.
they're using our eyes as their eyes. You're using us to look into the inside of the normal day lives of non-lizard people to better
Like
formulate their strategies on how to blend in seamlessly.
continuously,
Yes,
continuously make everyday life even worse
yes, yes.
by making uh, stuff a lot more expensive and just kicking us down again and again. Not a Republican, by the way, but we won't get into politics here.
That was about 3 minutes of us just bullshitting, but
Yeah,
it's
is that
fine.
good?
It's fine. We don't need a professional intro. We just need the
Mhm.
first 5 minutes of every podcast, just on some random subject, and it'll be fine.
Yes, we can do that. Okay. So are we calling that good? That's a good start.
That's a good start. So
And that's this is
we're
staying in the podcast
yep,
right now.
yeah, yeah. So we
Okay.
didn't rehearse any part of this. We had one meeting about 2 weeks ago on how we wanted to put up the podcast, and so far we have followed none of it. So
Yes,
you
that's
know,
true.
we both said we were going to come prepared, and neither one of us did. We didn't even
We are
know
not
we didn't know we were going to record this tonight until about 3 hours ago.
we are not learning from unscripted's mistakes because we're not following script.
We aren't, because I believe on my projects list I wrote unscripted V2 or something like that, or the successor to unscripted. So we're not. We're just redoing it.
Yes, and it's even better. It will be even better.
It will be even better.
Yes, it will.
So this is kind of a resurrection and kind of a reboot. So about 2 years ago, Mike and I did a Live Free podcast, and we kind of wanted to do it again. And Mike continued it. I
Yeah.
kind of got a little bit too busy and didn't really keep on it, and that kind of happens a lot with me. Is I take too many things at one time and
Yes.
decide to drop half of what I'm doing, or just forget about
Yes.
it. I just forget about them. But uh, Mike kept it going, and we kind of were talking, and we wanted to restart the podcast, and so we figured, why not? And that's kind of what we're doing now, isn't it?
It is,
we're
and it's
we're yeah,
pretty nerve-wracking.
it is nerve wracking. I got really anxious. And
Yeah.
I don't know why I got really anxious, but I got really anxious. Um, we're not. Although this time we are not sitting side by side in a basement with a
Oh yeah,
giant
yeah.
dog.
I forgot to add to that. Back to our colds, we're quarantining by staying at home and going to work.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
the way you should.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to get that message out there to the kids.
Because we're essential employees. Are you an essential employee? I don't even know what you do.
I I just clean parking ramps.
Yeah, you're an essential employee, Mike.
Am I? I
You're
didn't
yeah,
know that.
you are instrumental and um, crucial to the continuing functionality of society. If those
I
parking
could
ramps aren't clean, Michael, cars there's going to explode with how much shit is on a parking ramp.
go park over a pile of trash and it'll
Yeah.
set the heater into a fiery frenzy. Yeah,
Yes.
I can see it. So I could jump from this job to being the administrator of Biden.
Yeah. The
Okay.
administrator of Biden.
Yeah, I'll be the first lady before we know it.
Yeah. He already has a wife, doesn't he?
Well, his wife isn't the first lady though.
Who is the first lady?
Maybe I have my, maybe I'm screwed up. I
Because
might have that wrong.
the
I
first
was
lady is the wife of
I I
of the
was thinking
president.
because the vice president's a female. That's the first lady.
No, that's the vice president.
History lessons with Zach.
It's not even history lessons, Mike. That's just general knowledge of how American government is.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about it.
Although, yeah, it's fine.
I'm spending too much time on this podcast rather than
It's
reading the news.
it's. I don't read the news. I haven't read the news in like in a year. It depresses me too much to read the news.
It is sad,
Uh,
but
so one thing I
this
think
podcast isn't sad.
the first thing I think is already pretty obvious is that this is a lot less scripted than what we did last time. It's a lot less. Yeah, it's not as structured and rigid. I think that was kind of one of the issues we did with the last podcast is we tried to have too much of a form and too much
Yeah,
structure going into it, and it didn't allow the free flow of conversation and discussion. And I feel like doing it a little bit less like
which
that, a
made
little
it
more free form.
really hard for us to meet a time
Yeah,
tag that we wanted to because we found ourselves running out of topics and having nothing left.
yeah. So for this one, we've kind of immediately gone back to what we did with the first podcast, and we're gonna do a couple different segments, so to speak. So
Yes,
we're gonna kind of bring back that twisted track list that was on the podcast, and then you made into like its own mini series.
and
Um,
we're gonna do it differently on the podcast because instead of
yes,
rearranging an album, we're going to be taking genres or artists
yeah,
worth of discographies and making them into albums that really are just playlists.
yeah. It's gonna be more of a playlist,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's gonna so we're gonna be doing these every couple of weeks, and every couple
Yes.
of weeks, a twisted track list. So each podcast is kind of going to be either one like continuing segment, or it's going to be like two more general, larger segments for us to do, rather than a bunch of little things. So if we were doing twisted track list one week, the entire podcast or a good chunk of it would be just talking about music and that kind of thing, and it'll be pertaining to a particular subject, right, or like a particular theme, right? If uh, so, if we had like this week, we're just saying kind of general music that we like, that we find that inspired us, or that we listen to on a regular basis, that kind of thing. We have a similar thing with like movies and TV, films and TV shows that we really like, that really speak to us, that we look to for inspiration in what we do and create now. But in the
Yes.
future, we would do stuff like the theme for Twisted Track List is rock music or music from our childhood, particular, or just from high school and that kind of thing, or any number of subjects. So it can only be from a particular artist, and then we have to go do research on that freaking artist if we don't know, if one of us doesn't know who it is, or neither one of us knows who it is.
And then eventually we're just gonna have to restart it all over
Yes. Yeah.
genre, artist, because we're gonna run out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like a 6 month plan, and then we're gonna hit the reset button.
Yep. And then we'll have another reboot, and it'll be.
Which, speaking of 6 month plan, this podcast is going to be on every other Sunday.
I think that's what we said. Every cup, yeah,
Yes.
every 2 Sundays. So I don't know when this one is going out, but if this one is going out, well, the Sunday this one is going, never mind, English is hard.
Are you
This,
okay?
No, I had a stroke. It's fine. The Sunday that this one is going out won't be next Sunday from this Sunday. It'll be the Sunday after the Sunday after the Sunday.
Wait, what?
Today is Sunday. Well, not for us. Today's Tuesday for us. But Sunday
Yes.
that this is going out.
Oh, okay,
Not that.
okay.
Not next Sunday from the Sunday that this is out. But the Sunday after the Sunday
So
after
the
the
easiest way
Sunday
to
that this
say
comes
this
out is
is
every
to
two
tell
Sundays.
people look at the date, and it is the 21st, or is it the 28th? 21st, I think we settled on, right?
I think so. But
Okay.
we also said we were going to record this about 3 weeks ago.
Yes. And if
This
it's the
is our
21st, you're looking at December 5th as the next episode.
maybe if we remember.
Yes. Yes.
That's the
Or if we
key.
find the time to do it.
Yeah,
I guess there is no promises. We should just change the title of the podcast to no promises.
the irregular podcast, the unpromised
Yes.
podcast.
That was one thing I did like about the previous one is that it would say week 0, week 1, but then it would be like 4 or 5 weeks in between.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah,
an
that I
interesting
really
name
enjoyed.
scheme.
There was a stretch between April and I think October, week 7, and then week 7 was in April, and then week 8 was in October.
Yeah, I think that makes it funnier though. That makes it
It does. It really
to
does.
me. This is so much funnier. Is if we say we're gonna do it every other Sunday and we don't do it again until like February.
Of 2023.
Episode 2 of the podcast.
Oh, people would hate us.
Oh, it'd be fantastic though.
It would be.
This one would be like this is the pilot episode, right? This is the pilot light, and then I don't know. It's the pilot light. This is the pilot, and then the next one we do will be like December 5th, and December
And
5th will be episode 1, and then we won't
yes,
do like we'll do the next one we release towards the end of December will be episode 3, and then we'll release episode 2 in like the middle of March
yes,
as
I'm
like
down for that.
as like lost footage, and we just make all the
People are
audio
gonna
really
think
crackly.
people are gonna think that the pilot crashed the ship.
Yes, I did.
That's a that's a
I was
clever
actually
play on
yeah,
words.
yeah. I'm very proud of
It
you,
was.
Mike.
Thank you,
I'm very proud of you for making that play on words on a
thank
Tuesday
you.
evening.
I need yeah, I need the respect.
You need the respect. You have the
Yeah,
respect. Well, I mean, not
it
that
hurts.
much, but you have the
It
respect.
hurts my ego and myself to not have it. Was so this might go against what we're trying to do here, but I can't remember if we decided on I think it was called I think we called it Film Corner before. I don't know if we did it much, but did we decide on bringing that back or not? That's where we were going to talk about
Yeah.
stuff we did in the past.
Um, I think we were gonna bring that back. I think we were gonna bring back at least something to discuss
Yeah,
what we were working on and that kind of thing. Um, I don't know how we're gonna do that yet,
yeah, yep.
to be
Uh,
perfectly honest. But that's something we have been looking at and I guess you guys that are listening to this can look forward to is
yeah,
discussing
the suspense of
what
not
we've
knowing.
done before, and kind
Uh,
of we want to kind of look at some of the previous work we've done and picking it apart, seeing what we did well and what we kind of want to do better. Because we
I
have
think
talked about a couple of our previous projects, kind of remastering them, haven't we? Like
yes, we
Live
have.
Free Gold Edition.
Yep. I think my favorite scene so far that we've done is the car chase in Bond v Batman.
That was one of my favorite things, and it's so fucking stupid, man. That
It
is one of the
really was.
dumbest things we've ever done.
It really was. It worked so well too.
I think that's almost as stupid as the name Square Tables Don't Turn.
I know.
That
Yeah.
is that is fantastic, and
It was classic.
it was it's a classic. Someday,
It really is.
someday that's gonna be hidden in a vault deep away.
It
And it's
will
gonna be
be.
like a cult classic thing that only people who are like really into the previous work of Mike Barkhoff are gonna find Bond P Batman
Well,
in the car
I really,
chase
I
on a
really like too how I took the audio from Casino Royale
yeah
where he flipped the car and I matched it with the toy car flipping.
yeah that was one of the that was editing mastery right there. That was
Yes.
like that'd be on a Watch Mojo top 10 list of
That took me a long
best
time,
audio.
and I don't regret it.
That was wonderful. So we're looking at so Twisted Track list, and then whatever we're gonna call the equivalent of that for film and TV,
Yes,
and then
which
our
we haven't even tried to figure that out yet. We've just been
yeah
calling it Film Talk.
film
Yeah,
talk. Yeah, I couldn't even think of a
yeah.
clever, catchy name. Um,
A little bit
when I
of
sent it to you,
behind the scenes knowledge. We don't care.
We a little other behind the scenes knowledge. Mike and I were deciding to do this while we were both at work.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
I was slicing cheese at the time that I texted him.
Yeah, and I was trying to make cheese, like money, but I wasn't.
Cheddar. You only call it making cheddar or making dough. Gotta get this bread or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of them are synonymous.
What?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
getting cheddar, make that dough.
I'm so confused. I'm lost. I'm sorry. I'm not.
They're 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 synonymous because they all mean make money.
Oh, you said synonymous. I thought
Yeah.
you said anonymous, and I was
Oh
like,
no
why
no
are
no
you
no no.
trying to make money without people knowing who you are? Are
Are
you
you
a
making
criminal
fun of my?
enterprise?
Are you making fun of how I talk because I have a cold?
No, I'm making fun of the fact that my ears don't work.
Oh, okay, that's fine. As long as you're making fun of you and not me.
I would never make fun of you, Mike, except all the times that I have. Um,
Exactly. Gotta have a self guard.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have never harassed you in my life. Um,
You told me Bombay Batman sucked.
that's because I was in one episode of it, and then it was cut.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't finish that one ever.
No, we didn't, did we?
I think it'd be funny if we were like 4 years old and decided to finish it.
We finish it now, and we don't. We just use all the old footage that we already had, but
Yeah,
we just like
exactly.
shoehorn in new footage that we've created. We get
Like
like we get someone to do an impression of Grant.
it's not even close to being done either.
Oh
Probably
no,
only about 20% done.
it was probably only 6 hours of work,
Yeah, yep.
close like something around that, because it was all after school kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
I think that's one of those examples where the original's better.
yeah,
Sadly.
yeah. It didn't need a sequel.
Oh, don't say that. Now you got me questioning it. I feel like it did.
It needed a sequel. Bumpy Batman.
Yeah, yeah. The story was perfect.
Was it? Was the story perfect? Because I never really grasped what was happening with Bumpy Batman.
It was about them becoming friends.
Yeah, that's all. It's literally all I can remember, and that's because the P was plus.
Yeah, yep.
Bond plus Batman equals love story. Oh my God, Batman
I
and
think you
James
just wrote
Bond
the ending.
having yeah. The epilogue is them going on a honeymoon
You
in
know
like
what?
Barbados.
I don't think we need to film it. I think we just need to present that to the viewers and tell them to write fan fiction.
Yeah. Now we can have all the Tumblr people
Yeah.
drawing rude art of
So that
James Bond and Batman getting it
so
on in the sand.
that's what the ultimate goal of this podcast is to finish that show off.
So every episode of the podcast, we just say, but remember, Bond P Batman fan fiction
Yes,
and fan
yep.
art. I want to see them getting it on in the sandy shores of Jamaica, and if I
we
don't
could have
see
a
that, I'm gonna go riot.
we could have a skit at the end where we go over them and talk about them, but we don't describe the pictures, and nobody knows what they look like because they can't see anything. They're just
Yeah,
hearing us talk.
it's just us reacting to the images they can't see, which is
Yes,
for the best.
yes, exactly.
You don't need to see what's happening. Pay no mind to what's behind the curtain.
Just trust me, it's good.
Just trust me. This is I'm gonna need bleach in my eyes after
Yeah.
this.
I'm gonna perform my own lobotomy.
But yeah, so 20 minutes of rambling. Good, good. Um, so we
Off to
talked
a good
about
start.
yeah, we're off to a brilliant start. By now we'd be trying to figure out what the hell to do next. Um, I'm trying to actually scrolling back through our previous Discord conversations to see what we had written in. Uh, so actually
Did
we
I
can
hear you say you needed help on something to change the topic to?
sure, Michael. Would you like to lead this segue?
Do my best, but I feel like it's already pretty rough because we just stopped talking. Um, that's how I changed segue. I just said you needed segue change.
Yeah, Michael's just gonna butt in every now and then and say, "Hey, time to segue." There's not gonna.
I
This is
just
not gonna be smooth. This is gonna be as smooth as like I don't know what's something that's not smooth. As smooth as an avocado.
I don't. That's pretty smooth.
They are not pretty smooth. My job is to stalk those bitches. They're not smooth.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I have my
I
faith
have
in
felt
this.
up a lot of avocados in my time.
Are you proud of that?
I never said I was proud. I just mentioned a fact. I'm not
Well,
proud of that,
what I was
but I own it.
what I was just gonna say is that maybe we should tell them about the other thing we're working on.
What's the other thing we're working on? Because I genuinely have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Sketch show.
Sketch show. Oh yeah, the sketch show.
Yes, yes. It won't be in the podcast, but
No.
that's the first time we're doing something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a spiritual successor to our unscripted series
Yes,
of yore. So it's kind of just us writing skits, almost SNL style, but
yes.
using our sense of humor and our kind of own inside jokes, that kind of thing, and
We are
just
hoping
yeah, yeah,
that every episode has a guest.
yeah. It's gonna be
Yes.
kind of in that
Oh,
same vein of
yeah.
kind of SNL sketches and
We're ripping it off, but changing the title so we can't get sued.
yeah. Actually, I do think there was a show called The Sketch Show,
Well, this one's called
but
the Live Free Sketch
the
Show.
Live Free Sketch Show. Yeah,
Yes,
I was gonna say we can call it Living Free, but it's already a project we've done, so we can't
yes.
use that.
Which that's coming back soon too.
Living Free.
Yes,
Well, that's,
I filmed it as the first season was airing.
oh, did you now?
Yes.
Look at
Usually
you
I don't do
being
that.
really good at timing.
I was trying to. Yes. I just got an itch and I had to itch it.
Tell us a little bit about Living Free.
um, I I took inspiration from Seinfeld. I wanted to make a show that didn't have a plot. Um, it was actually inspired by Childish Gambino's show Atlanta. Just like that type of humor, serious but with an undertone of humor, I guess. It's weird.
Yeah, kind of
I
like
intended
the
for it to be weird.
kind of like not really dark humor, but kind of just
Real life humor.
surreal kind of humor. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like Spaceballs.
yeah.
Something you can relate to.
Spaceballs is an interesting film,
It
and
is.
I'm not kidding. When we were setting up to do the podcast, we were setting everything up here. It took us about 30 minutes.
You were watching Spaceballs.
No, I was making a short list of stuff because we have on our things we want to talk about is kind of like we want to use this as an introductory platform to introduce who we are and kind of where our kind of styles come from and where our styles lie.
You were going to mention Spaceballs.
I was. I had
Yes.
on my list of films and television. I had Spaceballs, um, but not Star Wars or Star Trek. It was just Spaceballs, Doctor Who, and something else. That
Spaceballs
was
is a great film.
Spaceballs is a great film. It's one of my
It
favorite
is.
films.
Yes. It's funny.
Yes.
Very funny.
Oh shit! What did I just do? I just turned off my other monitor. How did I do that?
Your thermometer or your monitor?
Monitor. I can't.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's still recording because I cannot see the recording software. I cannot see OBS on my monitor right now because it was on my second one.
You want to check it out real quick? Or?
Nah, we're fine. I'm sure we're
Okay.
either in the middle of this, it's just gonna freeze, or they're gonna hear me panicking about the recording.
Well,
One of these
if
two
they heard it
things will happen.
freeze, if they heard it freeze, they know why.
Yes. If there's a sudden jump cut, if you're hearing this, it recorded still. If you're not hearing this, it didn't record.
This is burnt to the ground.
Yeah, I'm actually dead.
Is
I'm a
what
ghost right
happened.
now, actually.
Yes. Flying the ship,
Um,
seen in Spaceballs.
my monitor is not. Oh, it's coming back on now. When I was starting to call it out for not turning back on, it decided to turn back on, and and oh, it's still recording. Wonderful,
Oh, sweet. I'll just hold my chest. It's a praise.
fantastic. I was
Praise.
please,
for
Lord, please, little tiny baby Jesus. Talladega Nights, not on my list, but should have been.
It should have been. So what you said? Doctor Who was on the list.
Doctor Who was on the list. Um, I'm a big fan of anthology series.
Them too,
I like
like Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I like anything that's kind of written in a way that every episode um, is loosely connected, but not every episode is a direct continuation of the last one.
Seen X Files.
What?
X Files.
Yeah, the X Files is a good example of that. But
Yeah,
X Files also tells stories in
it
an arc
goes on for
format.
too long.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It,
They, I think,
I'm currently watching it. I'm on season 9.
nice.
It
I
should have
haven't
ended
seen
in
X Files in
7.
a long time. Yeah,
It's really good actually, especially right at the start.
X Files. I think it's a great show. I just think they kept capitalizing on its popularity for a little
Yes,
bit too
I
long
agree.
instead of letting it die,
Yeah.
like run its course.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't think it needed more than maybe 3 or 4 seasons
Yes. I
for
agree.
ideal for its lifetime.
Yeah.
But it came out in like
They should have ended it with the movie because the movie is so good.
yeah.
And
It
then
did
after the
not end on
movie,
a
it
high
kind
note.
of yeah. The movie. I see. I haven't seen the ending, but I really have not liked the last 2 seasons, 8 and 9. I'm going to get through 9.
Yeah, I I I don't think I even finished season 9.
Yeah, dude, I'm on like episode 3. I've been on episode 3 for about a week.
Yeah, I remember whenever I was watching X Files, I couldn't get through season 9, and I think I could just barely get through 8, just
Yeah.
because.
Mulder came back for a bit.
Yeah, and for me, I think Mulder was kind of my driving force why I liked it so much. I liked his
Same here.
enthusiasm
Yes.
because
And it's not bad.
Scully did not have the same enthusiasm about
Yes.
extraterrestrial life in the way Mulder did,
Yeah.
but Mulder had a previous experience, right? So he had that desire to find an answer, where Scully was
Well,
just
then
kind of thrown into it.
at the start of season 8, there's nobody with enthusiasm either
Yeah, it kind
because
of
it's Doggett, and
it
he's
yeah,
also a skeptic.
it just dies, and I feel
Yeah.
like it did not continue because the whole driving force of every single episode of X Files, especially in those first 3 or 4 seasons, is Mulder wants to find proof of life and he wants to interact with it, right? Essentially, Mulder wants to be the first point of contact all the time. That's his thing.
Yes.
But when once you take that driving force of every episode out, there's nothing that really gives it life or breath. I think it was just kind of a poor attempt.
You're looking at a corpse.
What?
You're looking at a corpse.
Yeah, it
You're
wasn't.
watching a corpse.
It wasn't fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I can
Yeah,
I can have a present tense while you have a past tense because I'm currently watching it.
yeah. It's like the episodes of The Office where Will Ferrell was in The Office, and it just
You
kind.
just diss Will.
What?
Did you just diss Will?
No, I dissed him coming in and taking over the show because Michael Scott is the driving force of the episodes. It's
Yeah.
not. It's supposed to be the love story between John and Pam, or Jim and Pam, but
I actually forgot that Will Ferrell was in there.
right because it's
I
such a
yeah I yeah I forget after Steve Carell.
yeah, and
It goes downhill.
it's Steve Carell's like the enthusiasm of that character that keeps things rolling, that keeps things going, and
Stupidity.
yeah, once you remove the eccentricity of something like that, it kind of dies. And I think Will Ferrell tried too hard to be something like Steve Carell while being something unique that it didn't work.
He doesn't even look like Steve.
Of
Everyone listen right now. Hashtag that. Will doesn't look like Steve.
a show that stopped airing like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get it trendy.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of that same vibe where
Yeah,
it doesn't work the same way, especially whenever you have a character that's so rooted in something like that.
yeah.
Mulder Mulder was kind of essentially the mascot for the X Files, right? And once you remove that, it it's not the same thing.
Is it Mulder or is it the cigarette smoking man?
The cigarette smoking man.
I would say he's a mascot.
It's just the whistle as you enter
Yeah.
every episode.
Yes. That's also what went wrong with Bond P Batman, was that Batman wasn't in it.
Yeah, that's a key part of it.
Yes. Like I said, it's like looking at a corpse.
Yeah, it's like the Rise of Skywalker. There's no Skywalker in it. They're all dead.
I guess I never even noticed that. Yeah, you're right.
There's
I
someone
only seen that one
who's
once.
she is an identity thief. She calls herself Rey Skywalker. No.
More so than who stole whose identity in the office? You remember that?
What? No,
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Jim stole Dwight's.
Or yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that with Ray Skywalker or Ray. What's her name?
Rey Skywalker. No, you're not. Go die in a fucking hole, like you should have.
Is that how they ended that? They
Yeah,
said she was a Skywalker.
yeah.
Spoiler
She
alert,
like
I guess.
she ignites like her yellow lightsaber that she built herself that she never fucking uses. So what's the point in the power of her yellow lightsaber? And she goes,
That's a
someone comes up and says, "What's your name?" And she goes, "Ray." Ray what? Ray Skywalker. And I'm like, no, no.
it's a
No,
really bad ending.
no, yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah. But that's what happens when you have three different people write three different episodes for a trilogy.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll
I
be Batman again.
I'll be I'll be honest. I'm not too keen on what's his name? Ryan Johnson?
Yeah,
I don't like him as a writer. I
yeah. I can see that.
I watched Knives Out as well when that came out.
You
Uh,
you saw Knives Out.
yeah, and
You didn't like it.
I was not a fan. And part of
Yeah,
it comes
I
from
liked it.
they cast Daniel Craig
Daniel
for the
Craig.
detective.
Yeah, that part
And
bothered me too because of his
w-
accent.
yeah, well, for one thing, he did a very, we'll say interesting. He did a very interesting deep South accent, like he's from the
Yes,
Bayou.
it was something.
But
That part got
also,
me
his name is
after a while.
Benoit Blanc. But also, Daniel Craig, at the time that Knives Out came out, was still playing James Bond,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
he's Daniel Craig has been James Bond for so long, and in such a
Not
massive
anymore.
capacity that he is typecast. Right? He
Yeah.
is no longer like you can't. He's someone that it would be very, very difficult to cast him in any other role than James Bond because
That is true.
that's how he's seen now, right? It's like trying to put Mark Hamill in any other position other than um,
Luke.
Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
But he was
He
also in a
did play
movie
Chucky.
recently.
He did play Chucky
Did he?
in the remake. Yes.
Wow.
He
He's a
voiced Chucky.
he's a fantastic voice actor. He played
Not in all the movies.
he
Just the
played
remake.
yeah, he played the Joker
Joker.
in
Yes.
the animated Batman as
Yes.
well. He's a really really good voice actor.
Yes. If
Um
only we can get him on here.
I will if I yeah, yeah, sure. Um but he was in another movie I watched within the last couple of years at the very beginning of it. Um I have to Google it now. I have to Google Mark Hamill's fucking career.
Wrong letter, and you got Pornhub coming up.
What?
Press the wrong letter, and you got Pornhub
From
coming up
Mark
instead of
Hamill?
what you're trying to Google. Yes.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Mark Hamill.
I know. I'm looking at my keyboard right now, and it appears that way.
I'm not staring at my keyboard too. I'm trying to figure out which letter I have to mispress.
A lot of them.
I'm not seeing it, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not either.
You're
You're
just
not seeing the movie, or you're not seeing the keyboard thing.
the keyboard. Kingsman.
Okay.
He was in Kingsman: The Secret Surface. That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
The
yeah,
first
I knew
Kingsman
that.
movie.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of which movie it was that I had seen. Yeah, he was in that in the very
I knew that.
beginning as that professor
I
that
thought you meant like
explodes.
a long time ago.
No, no, I said it was in the last couple of years. I've watched
Oh,
it.
okay.
I watched it. I think I watched
Okay.
it for the first time in like 2019. I think.
Wow, you're behind.
Yeah, I don't know how it took me that long to watch it. I think I was watching. I was gonna watch
For who?
the Elton John movie, and the guy who played Elton John in Rocket Man also played Eggsy in Kingsman. I think that's kind of how I ended up
How is
watching
that
those.
John movie?
Rocket Man? Haven't
Yeah.
watched it. I was going to, I just never did.
I haven't seen it either.
I want to. It's on my list of things I need to watch, but it's a very long list right now, so I haven't gotten
Yeah,
around to
same
it.
here. I get that.
Yeah, instead I just keep rewatching the Pirates of the Caribbean and Star Wars. So
Do you notice my cameo in Pirates of the Caribbean?
your cameo, you have a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. First person that's noticed that.
Yeah.
You need to get that on my IMDb page.
Hmm. Dog in Pirates of the Caribbean. When did that come
Yeah.
out? 2005?
Yeah. Oh no, it was before that. I think it's 2003, the first one.
The first one?
Yes, I believe so. I
Yeah.
believe the second one was 2005.
Yeah. And we don't talk
The
about
second
the
one was
one
2006.
we don't talk about the ones that came after the third one. We don't talk about
Oh, quite the contrary.
no.
You're talking the Fountain of Youth?
I'm talking the one
4 or 5?
I'm talking the one where there's the woman that's cosplaying as Jack Sparrow and he chases her through England and like swords
I think
fights
that's.
with himself.
I don't even remember that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, when Barbosa walks into like a dining hall and he's all dressed up because he's been offered a letter of marque as a privateer. He's taken it from the English government. Do
I
you
think
remember?
I vaguely remember that.
Oh my god, I need to find it now. It was, I think, like the fourth movie on Stranger Tides.
Yeah, that one I didn't like that one very much.
Yeah, I hate that one.
Oh, they're listing it as a swashbuckler film.
Swashbuckler film.
I didn't know that was a genre. That's what Wikipedia calls it. It's a fantasy swashbuckler film. Sounds like a type of casserole.
Swashbuckler film.
You seeing that too?
No.
Yeah, look it up on Wikipedia.
Oh my god. This is basically what this podcast is gonna be.
Yeah, it's just two guys talking.
Yeah, I forgot that we were recording. In all honesty.
Oh yeah, and sometimes we'll have guests too.
Yeah, someone else
Yeah.
who knows what the hell's going on. Didn't the third one, Keith Richards was in it as well.
Keith Richards. Is
Keith
that the
Richards.
musician?
Yeah, the guy from the Rolling Stones. He plays like
Really?
Jack Sparrow's dad or something.
Oh
Yeah, in the
man.
third one, he's the one that like brings up the giant book of the pirate's code and is like, yeah,
Okay, I remember this. Yeah.
yeah, that was Keith Richards. Which it took me a long time to figure that out, but anyway, um, we haven't actually talked about any music. We've just talked
Oh, we
about
have not.
we have only
Yeah,
talked
we
about the X Files and
we
Bumpy
started
Batman.
Doctor Who, but we stopped.
Oh yeah, so that's how this
Yeah.
works. Is I have ADHD. I think Michael does too.
No, no, no.
So we just kind of forget what we're talking about. Um, but yeah, Doctor Who is on my list.
Yeah, what do you like so much about that?
Doctor Who, it's kind of this whole idea that I think the reason Doctor Who is almost immune from a lot of problems that plague shows like The X Files or The Office is it's really hard for it to go on for too long. That's not to say it doesn't. There have been instances where a particular doctor has been around for too long. And the whole thing about Doctor Who is that every few seasons, the person who's playing the Doctor changes because the Doctor is an alien that can regenerate whenever they have like a fatal injury or they get too old. They can regenerate and become a new person. So the Doctor is like still the same person on the inside. They have all the same memories and all this, but the their appearance changes, which allows
Almost
for
what they should do with James Bond.
yeah, James Bond should be a Time Lord, so it can make sense why
You heard it here.
so many people have so many people have played him. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it's kind of that whole thing that the person who's playing the Doctor changes pretty regularly. So you have a different approach to the Doctor every few seasons, and whenever they
Keeps it fresh.
regenerate, yeah, whenever the Doctor regenerates, his personality also changes dramatically. So like the kind of
Sometimes the
person that he
gender too.
is, huh?
Sometimes the gender too.
Yeah, and Jodie Whittaker changed, and I was not a big fan of Jodie Whittaker, but that was because of the writing that she got dealt with.
She's still the current one.
Yeah, I think she's on her last season though.
Oh, okay.
But she just got some shitty writing. A writer called Chris Chibnall, who I hate, um, became the head writer
That's my
because
cousin.
Steve, yeah, Stephen Moffat left, and
Oh, he was the main dude, wasn't he?
he was the head writer for a while, for a
Yep.
long time, and he was really really good. He was one of my favorites. But Chris Chibnall took over when he left, and Chris Chibnall was shit. Um, and then they just got the person, Russell T Davies, who was writing Doctor Who whenever it was revived in 2005. He just recently, just for some reason, came back and is now going to be writing the next few seasons. So he's back. But it's that whole thing with Doctor changes. So every few seasons, there's this massive shift, right? So the Doctor's still the same person, but their personality changes. Who they are changes. Their companions change. Kind of their objectives change. There's this whole thing. My favorite Doctor, who was Matt Smith, who was the Doctor I think from like 2010 to 2013.
He was also in Goblet of Fire. No,
No, that was David Tennant. David Tennant was
you're
in
right.
Goblet of
You're right.
Fire. Matt Smith was in the really shitty Terminator Genesis.
Yes. Yep. Wasn't he also in The Monuments Men?
I don't know.
I think he might have been. Let me Google
I,
this.
I tend to think that I tend to forget that film ever existed because it was terrible.
It was pretty bad. I feel like he was in it, but I could be
um, but Matt Smith was my favorite Doctor, and he was like he was kind of eccentric and crazy a little bit. He kind of had this childlike kind of personality and enthusiasm about everything, but he also could be really really dark and really serious. And he had some of the best monologues in the like in I think in TV history. He has a really good speech in an episode called "The Rings of Akatan," where he talks about like he talks to this alien being that has put itself and is pretending to be a god to like all these people, and he like it's a really good speech, and it's really hard for me to explain, but it's really really good. Um, when he stopped
say the
being the
speech.
Doctor, what?
Say the speech.
No, it's like 5 minutes long.
Say it.
Just because I know it by heart does not mean I'm going to recite it. Um, when he
That'll have to
regenerated,
be the intro of one of the next episodes.
yeah, he regenerated into Peter Capaldi, and Peter Capaldi is Scottish. He has really thick Scottish accent, but he was
The
kind
old
of
one,
he was
right?
old, and I really liked him as well. But he was like the exact opposite of Matt Smith. He was like completely different. He was not energetic and childlike. He was really stern and grumpy and angry all the time, and I loved it. Um, yeah, and that's kind of the thing that I like about Doctor Who is this constantly shifting and changing thing. The Doctor is not the same person. He's not been the same person since 2005, or even since
Capaldi
1968.
also. Capaldi also was in the Suicide Squad, the new one.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Yeah, you're right. I
Have you
completely
seen
forgot
that?
that. No, I saw the trailer for it when they
Oh,
were
okay.
like, yeah, I completely forgot. I've not seen the new Suicide Squad yet, but yeah, I do
Oh,
remember
dude, it's
seeing
good.
him like his individual trailer.
It's so good. It's better
hmm
than the original.
That wasn't a very high bar to clear though.
Okay.
I I
Let's
did
just
not
say
like the first Suicide Squad at
no.
all.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. This one's a lot better. It's like I don't even know how to tell you that it's better without making it seem like it's only mild, because the first one was so bad. It was probably my favorite 2021 film.
I don't think I've seen any 2020. Never mind. I
You
don't think
okay?
I've seen any 2021 films. No, I
Oh
did. I saw
man,
Old.
yeah, that was all right. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked Old.
Uh,
It
it was weird. The
it
ending was
wasn't
really weird.
was not his strongest work, M Night
No,
Shyamalan, but
no, it was better than his
better some of
worst.
his yeah, it was better than some of his more recent work for sure.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I like Split. Glass was all right, but this one was better than Glass.
Yeah,
Have you seen Glass?
I think so. I don't
Glass
remember.
has a really good first like hour, but then it kind of derails.
I feel like that kind of happened with Old as well, I think
Yeah, it kind of did, and I
actually,
didn't like the ending. It felt so rushed.
I feel like
Like the
actually
speed.
old feels like he had a great idea for the middle, right?
Yeah.
For
Yep.
the core of what was happening. But
Because
he
the
didn't.
opening was really weird too.
Yeah, I don't think he had a good idea. I think he just wrote the middle part, the stuff on the beach,
Yeah.
that kind of that core part, the part that's in all the trailers, right? He had all that
Yeah.
written, and then I think he just didn't know how to get to the beach and away from the
And then to
beach.
get off the beach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. I do love, and when did Old come out now? 4 months ago,
June, I
5 months
think.
ago, 6 months ago? Oh god, so long enough now that we can talk about it openly. I don't feel bad for spoiling anything. Wonderful.
Spoiler alert, though.
Um, I feel so. I like the ending where it was like this whole medical
Basically, them trying to fix.
yeah, like this
Yeah.
pharmaceutical experiment thing. I really like that, but how they got there never made any sense to me because
Yes.
it took a really long time for that to even get there,
Yeah.
especially with them uh, talking about stuff like the camera. He saw the camera up on the mountain
Yeah.
across the water, like probably 3 times. I think he saw the glint of it first, mentioned it, then they cut to the guy at the camera, and
It's M. Night Shyamalan himself.
yeah, they
Yep.
they did a couple different things there, but then they didn't do anything else with the camera. He never mentioned the camera again,
Yeah. Like, why was he
and
recording it?
yeah, and then
Yeah.
none of that ever gets explained until we see the lab, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff that
Which,
never made any sense. Why
which
that
at that
weird
point has no
coral?
real payoff.
Yeah,
Yeah, the coral. That's what it was. I said seaweed earlier, but yeah, the coral was really rushed.
yeah.
They didn't explain that very well.
There was one part though that I loved, and I loved it because it was so disgusting. Was the
The girl
girl,
in the cave.
yeah, in that cave,
Yeah.
and she had like the
Yeah.
calcium deficiency, and she just kept
Yes.
popping and cracking. I
Yes.
cringed so hard watching that, and I loved it. that was that I feel was like peak M Night Shyamalan kind of
Yes, it was.
shit. That was so perfect.
The camera work was really weird in that movie too.
It was like shaky, like
Yeah,
someone was recording it with their hand. Yeah,
and sometimes the camera would turn like a 90-degree angle, and nothing would happen, and then it would turn back.
yeah. It was like pivot weird as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was
That
very
part kind
interesting.
of caught me off guard, but yeah.
I think for him it was kind of an experimental kind of thing. I think he was kind of
Yes.
toying with different ideas, and it worked.
Yeah.
It
Well,
definitely
especially
worked.
because his last two movies were related to Unbreakable, so I think he wanted to do something original again.
Yeah, I think old. For the things I didn't like, it was actually really really good for
It was good.
the issues that I have with it. So
It's hard to rewatch it though. I feel like once you know it, you know it.
yeah, it's. I think it's gonna be one of those movies that I don't watch again for probably
Yeah.
4 or 5 years minimum.
You gotta forget what happens in order to watch
Right.
it again. Yeah. Which usually with his movies, I'm not like that. Like Signs, I can rewatch that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, The Village even probably too, even though that one's not his strongest. But I think because The Village isn't his strongest, you forget what happens because you don't like it as much.
See, I almost
So,
think. Yeah, I suppose. Although I think the
do you remember how
reason
it ends?
Village. I don't
Yeah,
remember anything about Village. I remember the name Village,
yeah.
and that's about it.
You remember the blind girl?
Blind
She has
girl.
to go get medicine, and they send the blind girl running to the town for medicine.
Oh yeah, yeah. All I remember about the village was it was a bunch of Amish people. That's all I
Yes.
remember.
Yep.
Like that's literally it. And
That's got a really weird ending too.
there was like weird porcupine monster things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But you don't remember the ending of it.
No,
What do you rank that one?
the village.
Yeah.
I think it's one of his better works.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
think it is just because of the weird shit. I like
It
weird
is
shit.
weird.
From M Night
Yeah, it is
Shyamalan, I
weird.
think he does best when he does weird things. Like that's why I
Yes.
think Old worked so well was because it was weird
Yeah.
things going on all the time.
So what do you think of Signs then?
I don't think I've ever seen Signs.
Oh, dude, Signs is good. Signs isn't weird, but Signs is good. See, The Village is what he made after Signs, and I think that's why after The Village, people stopped liking him so much because he made a movie that was like mainstream, like Signs, and then he came out with The Village.
Maybe I see. I don't think I ever saw Signs. I do remember liking Village just because it was weird,
Was
and
weird.
it like I think when M Night Shyamalan works best is when he is doing things that don't make sense, but in his weird, twisted reality, things make sense. And his
Kind of like
weird, interesting
Split.
way of writing.
Like in Split, he's kidnapping all those girls, and he's right under the zoo.
Yeah, or in
How did nobody see him?
or um what was the one we were just talking about this and we were talking about doing the podcast. Um, Not Cloverleaf. Although
Cloverfield.
um, not no, not Cloverfield. Cloverfield's a great movie too, though.
It is.
Giant giant monster that like you barely ever see. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That is some of
Yep.
my
It is great.
favorite storytelling because everyone's terrified of this thing that you never see, except for like a handful of shots. You actually see the
Yeah.
monster. I love
They
that.
did. They executed that well.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that one so much. Um,
The second one's
no.
good too.
Uh, uh,
Have you seen 10 Cloverfield Lane?
no.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
No, I'm trying to think. We just talked about this, the John Krasinski one that he made a Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. Yes.
Um, a Quiet Place. The reason I like A Quiet Place one is it's weird shit happening all the time. Nothing
Yes.
is directly explained. You don't know why these are happening and what's happening, but you know something wrong is happening. A Quiet
The
Place
second one
two, you
puts that carpet,
yeah,
rips that carpet right out of right under your foot.
yeah,
Yeah. It tells you exactly how it happened, why it happened,
yeah, and I don't
when
like
it
that.
happened. No, it
Weird.
takes away a huge
The
element.
spectacle of weird stuff gets taken away when you start explaining the
Yeah.
weird stuff.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I really was not a fan of that one. The second one.
Yeah, but we looked it up, and the first one and the second one have like the
A
same.
1% difference
Yeah,
on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, and I don't
I
understand.
don't understand
I
that.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's weird.
understand people because they're not on the same level.
Well, that's a 2021 film. Quiet Place 2.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've seen 2.
Yes, I have.
Yes. Have you seen Conjuring 3?
Mm-mm. I
Oh,
have
it's
not.
I didn't like it.
I'm not really huge
I was
on like horror films anyway, so
yeah. I was about to say it's really good, but then I was like, no, actually, I didn't like it at all.
actually, now that I think about it, it was shit.
Yeah, the new Sopranos movie was really good though.
Haven't seen that either.
Oh, dude, that's such a good show, and the movie was good too.
Well, honestly, I've not really watched a whole lot of anything this year. I mean, as of late, like the last probably couple of months.
Well, I will say for the most part, this year's been a huge letdown. Movie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
everything that
really
I've been, yeah, all I've really watched this year in terms of like even television have been like
yeah,
Star Trek Voyager. I'm watching
yeah,
old things because new things aren't doing it for me.
yeah. And I get that COVID happened, so like they can't
Yeah,
do the best that they can do, but still,
yeah. I was
I feel like
watching TV with one of my friends, and we weren't even watching, like we were watching Grey's Anatomy, but we weren't even watching new Grey's Anatomy. We were watching it from like 2015.
well, the new one's about COVID, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't
that's
like it.
unoriginal.
Oh my god, I loved the South Park pandemic episodes. Those were
I
so
heard
funny.
about it, but I haven't seen it, but I heard
Oh
about it.
my god, those were so funny.
I
Uh,
need to watch them.
there's the whole like kind of plot is that Randy Marsh went to China to sell his weed products, and while he was there, Mickey Mouse took him to a brothel, to a whorehouse, and he fucked a bat. And he brought
That's how it
COVID.
started.
He brought COVID back because he caught it. He caught
I
it as
need,
an STD off of a bat.
oh, I really need to watch that.
And then
Is
he's
it
like,
one episode or
I think it's 2 episodes, and he's like freaking out that he brought COVID back, and we're like, it didn't come from a bat, it came from a pangolin, and then he's like, oh, thank God, And then he like has this like this flashback that he also fucked a pangolin in China. He goes, "Oh my god, I caused COVID." Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so fucking stupid, but it's so funny.
I need to check that one out.
There's like a huge, you know what QAnon is? Like the
Uh,
online conspiracy theorist community.
yeah, yep, yeah, yep.
There's in the second one, there's like a whole arc with QAnon is like taking over the roles of teachers because there's huge shortages of teachers. So it starts out with like cops are being teachers, and they're like coming in with riot gear to teach the students. And then like QAnon starts being tutors, and it's like telling them about all the conspiracies and all the politicians drinking the blood of children to stay young. And it's so South Park bizarre.
I need,
It's
yeah, I
so
really need
funny.
to watch those.
It
I seen
ends
one.
it ends with a huge fight scene between like the kids that are like the staple of South Park, like Cartman and Kenny and all of them, and they're like standing off against all the QAnon people to get the vaccines into the teachers in the school.
I've seen one that was funny, but I don't know uh, what episode or season it was. But it was about cancer. Have you seen that one? That sounds bad to say.
I think I think it's okay to say that in relation to South Park because South Park is known for being like deliberately being insensitive and
Yeah,
just
I
making
mean,
jokes about bad shit.
it was
What it
crazy
is.
because I really was laughing at that. It was super funny. I don't even remember the plot really, but that was probably the hardest I laughed in a while.
I don't watch a lot of South Park, but
Yeah, me
it's
either. So I hadn't seen it, but damn, that's good.
I think I just saw it because it was on Adult Swim or something one night while I was watching TV. And I said, okay, we'll roll with this. It was so stupid. It was fantastic though. Um,
I really
yeah,
need to watch more.
yeah. I don't really. I kind of bounce off of South Park as a TV show. Just it.
Well, see, the animation style, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But
Yeah,
also, it's kind of. See, I don't mind vulgarity. And I think that's obvious, and I've been swearing in this. Well, I kind of told myself I was gonna not do that, but I did it anyway. So
I think I've
whatever.
done great at not swearing in this.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
I wish I was better than I am. Um, but
I actually don't know if I have been doing it or not.
I don't know. I'm not paying that much attention. But I think like South Park, there's like a certain level of vulgarity that it doesn't bother me, but I just lose interest because they're using the
Yeah,
vulgarity as
the main
yeah as a
technique.
means of like keeping
Yeah,
people in. I don't like that.
yeah,
I like it whenever vulgarity is used as a reaction
yes,
or to illustrate the severity of something.
yes. But when they're trying to do it to illustrate every single plot point,
Yeah, so
every single episode.
saying it's poo versus it's crap versus it's shit have are like three different degrees of being
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So that's one thing.
I
But
prefer Family Guy over it. That might be a bold
yeah,
statement.
I mean, I would actually back that up. I do prefer Family Guy over it, but I think Family Guy is better at like kind of the absurd, random, out of
Yeah,
nowhere humor.
I mean the cutaways are great.
That's why I love it. I really love the cutaways, and I
They're
admire
so
Seth
funny.
MacFarlane's vocal ability.
Yes, it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
I've been
this.
using
Go ahead.
I've been using Family Guy as melatonin since like 16. I
Yeah,
mean seriously,
I
it's a
use
great
it.
show.
I use it as like inspiration for like my jokes and how I make jokes just in public.
It's so often how many times I'll see something on Family Guy and then I'll be like, "That is so funny. I really need to show someone else this,"
Yeah,
and I do, and it's still funny.
yeah. I think like there's like an episode recently where there's a scene, um, where a bunch of the characters that are being played are not voiced by Seth MacFarlane,
Yeah,
and
I saw. Yeah,
there's
and
like
then
a
at one
what are we
point
doing?
they're like,
Giving
"Yep."
Seth's voice a break, and he like nods, and then all the other characters he
Yeah,
plays show up.
I
That
know
was
exactly
comedy
what you're
gold to
talking
me.
about. Yeah,
Like
that's
that
good.
to there's also the episode where they're the jury for Adam West, and they're like
Yes, yep.
the entire episode is set in the jury room. that
And
that
then
is one of my funniest ones, one of my favorites.
what? Who played Princess Leia? Carrie Fisher,
Carrie Fisher, yeah.
right? The episode where she dies and Peter goes to the funeral and he gives the speech and then he realizes he's at the wrong
He gives
funeral.
the eulogy to the wrong funeral. And I'm at the wrong funeral.
Oh man, that's so good.
He just choked on water thinking
Yeah,
about that.
that's quite classic.
Give me a second, I'm dying. Yeah.
I seen one that you'd really appreciate where Lois's dad Carter is walking out of a bar and he hits semi and it flips a bunch of other semis, kind of like in the movies when
Yes, I have
someone
I
yeah
have seen that episode. And my truck. Yeah, because he like goes and tries to get his wife back or whatever.
yeah yep.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh man, that killed me because it's like that is perfect.
Yeah,
They're making fun of like '90s movies when they're hitting bikes.
yeah. I think one of the best episodes in terms of like kind of very specific comedy to very specific kind of people is the episode where they talk about the different directors. And they have the
Yes,
same episode of Family Guy as if they're directed by Wes
Quentin
Anderson,
Tarantino,
Quentin Tarantino, and
Michael
Michael Bay.
Bay. Yep.
I think that one, and that kind of sounds kind of cliche because of what we do, but I do
Yeah.
think that was genuinely one of the best episodes
Oh, it's so
because
funny. He comes out as Ronald McDonald in Kill Bill.
yeah, yeah. I think the best part of that episode is when they cut back to the Wes Anderson one, where he goes,
He's in a submarine.
"We live inside of a
Yeah.
small family house, inside of a dollhouse, inside of a bigger house, inside of a submarine, inside of an aircraft hangar."
Yes, and every time they go back to it, don't they change it?
Yeah, it's like we live inside of a lighthouse now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I will now have a too close jump cut fight, so you can't tell what's going on
Yeah,
for the Michael Bay one. Michael Bay one was
yeah,
just
that's
making fun of
funny.
Transformers, but oh my god, it
Yeah,
was perfect.
yeah. He and his kids have a weird obsession with continents. I don't know if you
It was
remember
the
that.
Hagia Sophia. Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing bad will ever happen to the Hagia Sophia, will it, Dad?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that was a great episode as well.
Yep, that was funny. So I think that's pretty revealing where we get inspired from uh, for our comedy.
Yeah, Family Guy.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I like to take a little bit from Monty Python as well.
He's great. Yeah.
I think
Or
Monty Python.
they.
Yeah,
Is it
Monty.
a group, right?
Yeah, it's a group.
I haven't seen much of them, but I have seen clips. I didn't know if it was just the main writer or if it was the whole group.
No, Monty Python is a group. It's Monty
Okay.
Python's Flying Circus, and it was a group of people like Eric Idle, John Cleese,
Okay.
and there's more that I can't think of. Those are
Yeah.
the two that I always
Conan
remember.
Conan recently interviewed John Cleese, and so I know a bit about
Hmm.
him. Yep.
Yeah,
I would say Conan too. He's really funny.
Conan is really funny. He's not my personal like kind of favorite, but I value him much more than Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. I like
Or
how he can go from smart comedy to really silly.
yeah, and he also has a
He's really
wonderful face. So
yeah.
I
He's
do
Red
think,
Pompadour.
yeah, I think he's a Conan's pretty all right. I
Yeah.
watch a lot of British television though as well, and there is
Oh,
one.
it's and he's Conan himself has said British comedy's better.
Yeah, so in the UK, there's a lot of there's like a lot of shows that are they're panel shows, and most of those panel shows are comedians.
Is that
And
basically like a sketch show?
what?
Is it basically like a sketch show?
No, it's basically a game show, but
Oh, okay.
it's not like quote unquote normal people doing it. It's comedians and celebrities doing it.
Comedians. Oh, okay.
So it's like there's a show in one of my personal favorites. It's called Would I Lie to You, and it's like just a normal kind of like just like family game. So basically, someone reads off of a card a statement. It's either true or false, and the person who read the card has to tell like
Figure out if they're being lied to.
yeah. So the person who read it off the card essentially has to answer the questions of the other team, and the other team has to guess if they're telling a truth or a lie. And it's teams of three. There's always the same two team captains. It's Lee Mack and David Mitchell are the team captains, and they're hilarious. I won't lie. They are two of my favorite comedians. I find them stupid funny. And Lee Mack,
The Office.
what?
You can keep going.
Lee Mack is like the king of like quick comebacks and like quick wit. He is hilarious. He's so funny.
That see, that's a skill to have to be
Yeah,
so smart and funny at the same time.
yeah.
So you
He's
can,
fantastic. And
yeah.
every episode they have each team has two other people on it. So like um, it's always Lee Mack and David Mitchell, but then they each have like another comedian or like a comedian and a celebrity or like at least two celebrities each. And it's so funny because they're so good at it. And the British comedy, it's none of it's scripted. Like they don't even know what's on the cards until they read them. It's fantastic. It's and
Check into this.
there's so
What's
many
it called?
shows.
Oh
Would I
yeah,
lie to you?
yeah. Would I lie to you? Okay, that's right.
And they do so many shows like that in the UK. They have another one called QI. And QI is like a quiz show.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Actually, I've heard of that.
it's like a quiz show, kind of about obscure facts and stuff. And there's the host is Sandy Toksvig, and there's one permanent panelist on it. His name is Alan Davies, and I love those two. They're like kind of intellectual humor, like
Yeah.
they're super intelligent, but their humor is like it's the humor can be really intelligent, but it can be really stupid as well. And I love it. Alan
See, I
Davies
was
just makes fart noises sometimes, and I laugh hysterically at that because I'm a child.
yeah,
Um,
I was just gonna say that even The Office started in the UK.
yeah, but I
Like they
don't.
really do
A lot of people don't
push
think
the envelope.
a lot of people think Ricky Gervais's Office was not as good because it was more like depression at work humor,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the one in the U.S. Office isn't that. It's more of just awkward, awkward
See, I
office
probably
humor.
only seen an episode of the UK Office, but I mean that also jump started Martin Freeman, Bilbo.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean you got to put respect on it.
It did, in some respect, kind of make Ricky Gervais more popular.
Known. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
cause
then
he,
when he's in the US version,
yeah,
that's great.
and Stephen Merchant, who was a writer for The Office, it kind of thrust him to the limelight as well. He was a comedian, but he also wrote for The Office, and now he's like more well known as a writer and as a comedian in the UK. And also he's like 6'8", but
That only lasted like 2 seasons there, maybe even just one.
yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah,
But
that's
it did
crazy.
kind of cast inspiration for the one in the U.S. and
Now there's ones in like all the continents.
yeah,
Like I saw Arizona. I mean, Australia had one.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona has its own.
Arizona has seceded from the United States and is now its own country.
Coming to you live, Mike Barkhoff.
Yeah,
Or should I say, coming to you live, Mike
live
Barkhoff. Free.
life free.
Live and free.
Yeah, I think if if you want a recommendation for something to watch, would I lie to you? Pretty much every episode is on YouTube, and it's really
I
good.
have I have a recommendation for a film. I don't know if you've seen it. It's my favorite film. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One more time.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I genuinely have never seen One Flew Over the
Oh,
Cuckoo's Nest.
it is so good, man. You'll like that. The music is great. The original music that they composed for it. The directing's great. The writing's great. It's based on a book, uh, but it's not like the book. Uh, Jack Nicholson, like one of his first performances.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really good. It blends comedy and real life really well. And each time I go back and watch it, I get something new out of it.
I will put that on my watch list
Yes, at the top,
at the
now
top.
space number 74,886. I've been watching Game of Thrones, which I don't know if you've seen that.
I never got into Game of Thrones. I
It's
never
hard
could.
for it's hard. It's really hard for me too. But I'm pushing through, forcing myself to watch it. I'm almost on season 5.
I
it
could not get into Game of Thrones, no matter how
it
much
has
I
some
tried.
it has some great episodes, but I think it's overrated as a series.
Mm.
That's really the best way I can describe it. Um, it's got the classic HBO feeling where it's just characters talking the entire episode, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay, let's do something.
yeah.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I've seen Breaking Bad.
You like it?
I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
I thought,
You know, Ryan Johnson did 2 episodes of that.
yeah, yeah.
Fly and Ozymandias.
Huh?
Fly, the one with the fly,
Yeah.
and then Ozymandias,
I
the
think
one where Hank
I
dies.
think Ryan Johnson
Spoiler.
is better as a TV writer than he is
Yes.
as a film
Well,
writer,
he didn't write them. He just directed them.
and he has written TV though.
Yeah, I don't
And
know what he's written though for TV.
I don't know.
Let me
Maybe
check.
I feel like he. I just feel like he would be better as a TV writer, because
Yeah.
I think he's better. He would be better at capturing smaller
Yes.
situations and scenarios rather than trying to make one last 2.5 hours, an hour,
Oh
whatever.
man, he's only written for Hit Record on TV,
Wow.
which was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's. You know what Hit Record is?
No.
You know Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No.
He played Robin in The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
Yeah, he made a website. It's actually kind of cool. People like me and you that want to get into the film business, we can upload our stuff there.
Mm.
Kind of
Okay.
like Reddit for filmmakers. But he had a short-lived TV show
Okay.
about the concept. Yes, Ryan Johnson wrote and directed an episode that included skits people wrote and directed and published online. I don't understand how you write or direct that. But okay, make that make sense, can you?
It, I'll pretend it does.
I mean, I could see you. I could see you writing the in between segments, but I don't know. I feel like there wouldn't be too much to write there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I just think. I don't think he has what he needs to write like a full length film, and I feel that's
Did
obvious
he,
now.
did he write Knives Out?
I think he did. I think he wrote and directed it.
He did write it, and he also wrote The Last Jedi. One that he did do that was good though was Looper.
Looper.
It's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis.
Um, Written and directed by Ryan Johnson was Knives
Yes,
Out.
that one was pretty good. Looper. I recommend that one also.
What is Looper?
It's about present day uh, killers that are hired by like a gang from the future. They're going into the present to kill someone.
Okay, I'm reading about it now.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. But I will say, it is a very. Uh, it feels like it's a movie that probably could have had 30 minutes cut from it at least.
Didn't we had a project once that I was writing and was basically this?
Yeah, yeah, it was. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to discourage you.
I'm glad we never produced that. It would have just looked like I just ripped off a movie I've never seen.
Well, you're welcome. Oh, I honestly forgot all about the movie until just now.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not big on Ryan Johnson as
No, that's understandable.
anything, but yeah,
You'd be saying that to him if he was your father.
yes, I'd be like,
Zach, come
choose a
on.
different vocation.
Become a
Either just
musician.
just stick to directing. Do
Yeah,
not
seriously. Yeah, don't try to write.
stop trying to write because
Oh, he actually directed 3 episodes of Breaking Bad. He also directed the episode 51, which I'm going to say this before I click on it. I'm pretty sure that's the episode where Skylar tries to kill herself in the pool.
see, I don't think there's no episode of Breaking Bad that stands out to me in a negative way.
No, they're all good.
And that's why I think, yeah, I mean, there's
Even the ending was good.
there's episodes of Breaking Bad that stick out to me for absurd reasons,
1 minute,
like throwing a pizza on the roof.
yeah, and then 1 minute, the episode where Hank gets the cousins try to kill Hank.
Yes, or when we
That's a great.
watch him stuff someone in a barrel and liquidize them.
Yes.
Like there's episodes that stick out for absurdity, but I love absurdity whenever it
Yeah,
fits. If absurdity is just there for the sake of being absurd,
I will
that's
say
different.
they did really good with that show. Like the writing, the
Hmm.
directing, the acting,
Oh, for
all
sure.
around.
I think part of
So
that is I think Bryan Cranston is really good at just kind of
yeah, he
adapting to what
is.
he needs to do.
He really is.
Like
Vince
there's
Gilligan's a great writer too.
yeah
He wrote for the X Files too.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I think Bryan Cranston's really interesting in the way that I cannot I don't recognize him in anything he does. I know who he is. I'm
Malcolm in the Middle.
I'm very aware of who he is, but every time I see
Like
him in
he doesn't
something,
look the same.
yeah, because he changes so fucking much
He does.
that I can
I
never.
didn't, dude. I didn't know that was him from Malcolm in the Middle until like season 4 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he appears in an episode of Family Guy, in a cutaway
Yeah.
against
No,
a green
yeah.
screen. And I,
He also voices Peter's new boss.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I just every single time my brain does not acknowledge who he is, and I think that's fantastic. A fantastic skill to have as an
Yeah.
actor. It makes him almost immune to being typecast.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, he's done comedies, dramas.
Yeah,
Uh,
he was in Kung Fu Panda
that's about it. Yeah, yeah. I
and
forgot about
Saving
that.
Private Ryan. I think he was in How I Met Your Mother.
In Saving Private Ryan, he has no arm.
Yeah, that's the
He
big
was in How
change
I Met
there.
Yeah.
he
That's
was
why I
in
didn't recognize him.
he was in Total Recall as well.
Yes, I remember that. The new one. I don't think
Yeah,
he
the
was
2012 one.
more than, probably more than 20 when the original came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Now, if only you could do that, Zach.
Oh, if I could do that, I think I think I'll forever be known as Sam Barbosa.
I think if you could do that, Bomb P. Batman would have been better.
Yes, if I could have done a
Yeah, it
better
would have.
job of being Edward Nigma.
Yes. What's the joke in that name?
Edward Nigma, Enigma. So his initial is E, Nigma.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep. I knew there was a joke in it, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, he's the Riddler is an enigma.
Yes. I. Oh man, I'm stoked for that new Batman movie.
He's the only one in DC who has a name like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone else is like kind of just a crushingly realistic name.
Yeah.
But I imagine that that's not like his quote
Ex-
unquote real name.
Except for when they named the Joker in that one Batman movie, and it was like Jeremy something.
Arthur Fleck.
I don't remember. What's that?
Arthur Fleck.
Uh,
That was
which one was that?
that was the Joker.
In Tim Burton's or which one?
Yeah, the 2019 one. That was what who Joaquin Phoenix played.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm talking about I think they named him in Tim Burton's.
Oh,
I can't remember what his name was.
uh,
It was Jack something.
Jack Nicholson. That's who played him.
Jack Napier.
Oh God,
Yeah,
that's
it's bad.
that sounds like a Tim Burton name as well. Oh
And
my
then
God,
did they name?
I just Googled it
Yeah.
because there's a link to that specific Joker, and his name is a reference to Jack Nicholson playing him and Alan Napier playing Alfred Pennyworth in a '60s TV show.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's a combination of their two names. Also, that's one of my favorite Jokers. It's a Jack Nicholson Joker.
Oh yeah, he did great. He's very overrated.
I think I think Jack Nicholson is really good at playing someone who's gone off the deep end.
And then they also in Gotham City did Jeremy and Jeremiah Beliska. That was the Joker's name there.
But I don't understand why they give the Joker a name.
I know
The
because he's
point
not supposed
the
to have
point
them.
of the Joker is to be just you're not supposed to know him as anything but
Yes,
the clown
that
prince
was
of crime.
that was the one thing they got right with Jared Leto.
Yeah,
They didn't give him a
they didn't give him a name.
name.
They did, however, give him abs and a grill.
Yes, and a face tattoo.
Oh my
Couple
God.
actually. That's such a bad Joker.
Oh, it really is. I don't know. I don't know whose decision that was. My favorite thing is how pissy Jared Leto gets and how defensive he gets about his Joker. I love it.
Like after the fact in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He gets so defensive over his Joker.
Did you see the behind the scenes photo that David Ayer shared
No.
of Jared Leto's Joker without makeup?
No.
This was just like last week. You have to look that up real quick.
We
It's
can
bad.
we can move on to music as well.
Yes, we can do that. Are you Googling it though?
I am right now.
Okay. Okay. While you're doing
I
that.
typed in Jared Leto and the autofill was Joker behind the scenes.
Yes, while you're doing that, I will do a very casual segue into music. I will start off by listing off my favorite musician. You see it?
He just looks like someone who's trying to be. He looks like a My Chemical Romance fan.
Yeah, dude, it's bad, isn't it?
Oh my god. Oh my. He looks like the edgy kid in high school.
It does. Did you hear my perfect segue though?
No, I was too busy laughing.
I said my uh, um, hard to notice segue is into music.
Oh, thank you. In case I know how smooth that was, but for the
It
listeners,
was.
we're segueing into music now. It was seamless.
Yeah, that was a good segue. Who is your favorite musician?
um, so the difficult thing is, I was gonna let you do this one first because
Oh, okay.
I've
Yeah,
been thinking
I
all
can do
day.
that. Okay, I can do that. I think you know who it is, Zach, and I think everyone who's
um,
listening knows who it is.
Sir Vivian Dunn.
That's yours.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, that's yours.
no. I'm not a big Adele fan. Thank you,
Sir Vivian Dunn, famously from Adele.
though. Adele. That's just her alias. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he died like 200 years ago. But yes,
wait. Is this a real dude?
yes,
Oh, is he the one that played Dracula?
no.
Oh, I don't care then. Okay, will be a little drum roll.
I have terrible rhythm. Continue.
My favorite musician is Eminem.
Macklemore.
Yes, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Yes.
You can't have one without both. Statistically proven. No, no, no.
Statistically proven.
Did
Eminem.
did you hear who? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
Eminem.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Did that surprise you?
Not really. I mean, I know you're into rap, but the last time we talked about music, you mentioned Kendrick Lamar, and
I do like him a
that's
lot.
who I was expecting.
I do like him a lot. He's probably my second. But no, Eminem's just got great. He chooses great production. He is really good with lyrics. Have you heard much of his work?
Yeah, actually, I'm a pretty big Eminem fan myself, and
Really?
he's
I didn't know
really
that.
he's really the only rapper I like, to
He's
be
great.
honest.
He's very smart with his work.
Yeah, and I like,
He knows where to come in on a beat. Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
and I
It
think
is
the
not.
way, like, I like him not just for his music, but the way he like acts whenever he's not performing. Like
Yeah,
he's very like decent person. Like
he's good.
he's not a dick.
No, he's not greedy or nothing. Yeah, he's funny. Like he's always trying to make a joke at award
Yeah,
shows.
he
Yeah,
was
he's good.
he was on an interview show I think in the UK.
He was in the interview, the movie.
Yeah, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was on, I think it was called the Jonathan Ross show, like years ago. And there's a scene from that floating around, and Jonathan Ross goes, "What do I call you, Eminem?" Uh, he was like, "Oh, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was Eminem, Mr. Shady, Slim," and he goes, "Call me whatever you want." And then he says something. He like did like a Yoda voice,
Yes, I
and
know
he goes,
exactly what you're talking about.
"Eminem, I am," or something like that. But
Yes.
yeah, he's a pretty funny dude.
Yeah, he is. He's good shit.
Yeah, I do
I
like a lot
like
of his
him.
music.
I see. I didn't know you liked him at all.
Mm, yeah, kind of more of his
See,
older stuff though.
yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I we don't really hang out a whole lot in person, so I don't really know what you listen to and stuff.
Yeah, we have we haven't hung out in a long time.
It's been a while,
It's
and
been a
it's not
while.
even just because of COVID. It's because of my deep hatred for you. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
and my unending resentment for you. But beyond that, we're actually really good friends.
Hope the audience knows that was a joke.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Yes, yes. I have it written on my hand right here. I have to say that.
Yeah. Disclaimer. It was in our contract that we signed that we have to be friends. So
Yes.
What particularly about Eminem is kind of your vibe?
Uh, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. I think it's just because he had nothing and he found a way to get everything. It's inspiring to look at.
Hmm.
And 8 Mile is a great movie. I don't know if you've seen 8 Mile.
I have not. I don't really
Oh,
know.
it's so good.
I don't really know much about him, like his past or about him as a person. I just kind of know it, like vague things that he's done, like in interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah. He grew up without a dad. I'm sure you knew that.
No, did not.
Oh, yep. Yeah, and he
What
was
I do
poor.
know, what I do know about Eminem is that he's from the Midwest. So the lyric "Snap back to reality, oh there goes gravity" is technically "Ope, there goes gravity."
Yes. Yeah, Dr. Dre forced him to change that. Yeah, his mom also was addicted to a lot of drugs in his adolescence.
I'm just
He had
listening. I'm not gonna be responding. I'm just.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so he had quite the upbringing. Um, but he didn't let it knock him down, and that's pretty motivating. I guess that's probably the reason that I would say he's my favorite.
It's kind of that, like that story of where he came from and where he's gone from there, and
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to know that somebody of that status has gone through shit too, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Like Michael Scott, for instance. He had a nice life.
Michael Scott.
I don't even know how Steve Carell, uh, how his past life was.
No, all I know is that apparently like he's not. He's not a nightmare to work with. He's not like easy to work with, but he's kind of like just kind of laid back, and it kind of goes with the flow. But he can be a difficult person to work with sometimes. But not like,
You could see that coming from
but not like a Christian Bale difficult to work with.
him. Yeah.
More of like he's really energetic.
Yeah,
Like I
and I
think,
could see him if it's like a main role, him wanting to get his stuff perfect.
yeah, I think it was something like when they were doing the Anchorman, because it was a bunch of people who are comedians at heart and also Paul Rudd. Actually, no, that's a lie. Paul Rudd is definitely a comedian at heart. But because it was, they were all people that do a lot of comedy. Steve Carell kind of just, he was always Brick at all times.
Brick is hilarious.
Yeah,
I love
my
him.
favorite scene in the Anchorman movies is when they're
Ryan,
at Brick's funeral
yes, yep.
and he's like giving his own eulogy.
He starts crying.
He's like, "Why, God? Why did you take us with it? Take him from us, Brick. Brick, you're not dead. You're standing right there. I'm not dead."
Like
I love that.
I like the same movie where Will Ferrell goes blind. And
Yes. Is this
the
checkers and chalk?
yes, but he thinks it's cheese and crackers,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, these are good."
Brick, don't eat that.
Yeah.
They like
Oh
walk
man.
in and they're like, "Didn't you hear us coming up? Didn't I tell you? I'm blind."
Yeah. Those are great movies.
Oh, for sure. I like the
We
bit
should do something similar to that.
when they're when they're.
The Condiments movie.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We agreed the last time we did a podcast we were never going to mention that again.
Well, we did, so
Well,
now we have to do it.
the condiments movie. Oh god.
Do you read the script for that?
I have repressed it from my memory.
Well, there's a segment where it's a car chase, but we were trying to make it the longest car chase as possible, where they're not actually chasing each other. So like at first they're trying to get out of a really packed parking lot, and then there's one point where they're going through the drive-through, and the person chasing them's like, "No, no, you guys go ahead and order. We'll follow you. We'll wait for you."
Oh shit. I'm running out of gas.
Meet me at the gas
Yeah, I
station.
just got to pull in. Can you wait for me?
I see. I think it'd be a good movie to do.
Just taking the piss out of every other action movie.
Yes, yes, we should do it. Really should.
You know, just randomly that came to my head. while we were talking about that because we were also talking about the Anchorman. The guy who plays Jack Lime has a very bizarre career.
Who's that?
I don't. I have no idea what the hell his name is, but he's also the guy that he played the main guy in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
James Marsden.
Yes, him.
He's the boss in the second movie, or not the boss. He's the one that's competing Robin.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not in the first one, is
No, no. There, he's in the second one, and it's like the whole thing with
he? He was
if we beat
Cyclops.
your ratings, we got
Yeah,
you gotta call yourself Jack Lame.
yeah, he was Cyclops in X-Men.
Was he?
Yes,
See, he's another person that every time I see him, I don't know who the hell he is.
yes, exactly.
And all of his roles are really bizarre.
Yeah, they
I feel,
really are.
I feel like Cyclops is the Hawkeye of X-Men.
Yeah, Cyclops is pretty cool though, but they didn't use him right in the movies.
No,
Not at all. But the movies weren't anything special.
I don't.
He was also Superman Returns. He was Lois's husband.
Of
When
course
she
he
thought
was.
Superman was dead. Yep.
I never really liked the X-Men movies, to be perfectly honest.
They were good when I was a kid, but I'm sure if I went back and watched them now, I wouldn't like them.
Yeah, I just don't think I liked any of them.
Yeah.
It,
Well, they really fell off after a short period of time too.
the only one I like was Days of Future Past.
That one was really good. The Quicksilver scene, especially.
Yeah. Oh,
And then after
that
that, I
scene
thought
is a masterwork.
that was really good.
That is fantastic.
After that one, when they did Apocalypse, I thought they were gonna actually do good, but it was horrible.
Yeah, agreed.
It was bad. That one was probably the worst one.
I don't know.
I stopped watching them after that.
I don't know how it can be. How I can. I don't know how I can
Last Stand.
dislike X-Men so much with Sir Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart in it,
I know,
who are
right?
two of my favorite, like all-time favorite actors. And
They just got paid a lot for it.
I don't know how the movie is. How they. I don't like them for those two being in it. I think it's because they don't play like they play crucial roles, but they're not like central roles. You know,
Yes, exactly.
Magneto's pretty important, and Professor X is pretty important, but they're like the roles they play aren't critical enough to really. That might be it. And I love both of those actors, so.
Ian McKellen was Gandalf?
Mm-mm. Saruman, the other one.
Oh, okay. Who was Gandalf?
I have no idea.
Are you sure?
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. Ian McKellen was Gandalf.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. It was the guy in Attack of the Clones that was Saruman.
Saruman was fuck, what's his name? Christopher Lee.
Yeah, and he's dead.
Yeah, he's also one of my favorite actors.
He was good,
He
but he doesn't get an R.I.P.
rest in peace, Christopher Lee. He
No R.I.P.s on this podcast.
he did also. He played like one of the first um, depictions of Dracula during the black and white era of movies.
Really?
Christopher Lee. Yeah,
Oh, I'm seeing that now. Yeah.
yeah, because he's like Christopher Lee was born in like the 20s. Like
1922.
yeah,
Same year as me.
he he died in 2016 and he was like in his upper 90s. Like
See, he
dude was
must have
old.
been eating too many carrots. Because I'm telling you, I don't eat any, and I'm fine.
And I mean, I'm
Just
gonna
the
point
heart
out.
palpitation from time to time.
Hold, hold on. I need look. How old was Christopher Lee when he died?
He was, one second. Doesn't say it on Google. 93.
He was 93. So he was, ooh, what, 80, 80 when Attack of the Clones came out? 2002?
Well, he died in 2015.
10,
Attack of the Clones is 2002.
yeah. So
So,
13 years. Yeah. He was 80 when he did
oh,
Attack of
okay.
the Clones.
Damn. And Star Wars was like filmed in 1999 or something. I mean, Lord of the Rings. So
Yeah.
he had to have been,
He
what,
was,
like 76?
yeah, dude was old when
78?
he was doing some of his like modern work, but he
Yeah,
was doing
that's
it really
crazy.
well. Like the guy must have been like hella healthy to be doing some of that
And
stuff.
that's
But
those carrots.
yeah, his
They give you
voice is,
temporary health.
oh my god, I love his voice. But
You just marry his voice, Zach.
he he also Christopher Lee did a rock opera about
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Charlemagne. the King Charlemagne.
Oh, I think I just seen that. Charlemagne by the Sword and Cross.
Yes, that's a rock opera,
There's two of them.
and he has like his singing voice is fantastic, but it just sounds like Count Dooku is singing. It's so good.
I need to check those out. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, it's a
He's
really
got
good
four
album.
albums together.
Yeah, they're all on Spotify as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know he did anything other than acting.
Mhm.
Wow. I need to check him out.
Yeah, he did some crazy things.
I need to rewatch Lord of the Rings too. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I need to do the same thing.
Probably since I was like 5.
Yeah, probably the same actually.
Yeah, it's
I was
crazy.
probably a little bit
They're
older. I was
really
probably
good though.
12 or 13 when I watched them last, but
Oh, you lied.
yeah, I did. I'm a big stinky liar, but
Yeah.
they were pretty. I mean, Elijah Wood. That's Iowa blood right there.
Iowa.
He's a
Yeah,
weird guy, by the
he
way.
is. Wilfred. Have you seen Wilfred?
No, I
So
have
have you
not
seen
seen
the
Wilfred.
trailers for it though?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, just type in Wilfred and it'll pop up him standing there with a dog, a guy in a dog suit.
Oh my god. Hold on.
You're gonna have nightmares.
Oh my god. What the hell?
That's what Frodo became.
He's a really weird guy. Like, but
Yeah,
you know,
he was also in the video for "Threw It on the Ground."
what?
Yeah, you remember that? "Threw It on the Ground" by the Lonely Island.
Yes.
Yes, he's at the end with Ryan Reynolds.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Hold on. I'm now verifying this. I'm gonna put it on mute, and then just skip to the end of the video. Oh my god.
It's him, right? That's the right one, right?
I don't know. I'm watching an ad.
Oh, okay.
We're at an hour and a half, or an hour and a half and 6 minutes. And at 1 hour 36 minutes is how a normal person would say that.
Which one? Which one?
No, our podcast. You know what? I just realized who the Lonely Island is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I just
that's the dude from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
that's had Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. Yeah,
Oh my God, you're right. That is Elijah
I
Wood.
thought he was in it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's he's out of focus, but that's him.
yeah.
I never
Yeah,
realized that was Andy Samberg before.
and then they start tasing him.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
So, what did he do that was better, Lord of the Rings or that? It's
That
debatable.
because he's with
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds in that.
yeah.
Oh my God, we were talking about
Green
music.
Green Lantern himself.
Yes. So
Ryan Reynolds' most notable role, Green Lantern.
we were talking about music
We still are on the topic of music. We're
because we're
talking about
Lonely
the
Island.
Lonely Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um.
So it cycled pretty well
I just.
because that was your top musician on your list, wasn't it?
No. See, the thing is, like, for me, because music is so like core to my life, I guess, and it's like that's really cheesy and cliche to say because music is core to everyone's life, right? We had a band teacher who would
Unless
always
you're
said
deaf,
that.
Zach. Unless you're deaf.
Hmm.
Unless you're deaf.
No, because they can still like feel music, right? Because by music is just vibrations, and they can still feel that or see what music does. I think it's
You
weird.
sure?
Yes, and like it's difficult for me to have like a favorite artist because like
That's understandable.
I just want to like here I'm going to illustrate this in the fact that like whenever I say I listen to pretty much every genre of music, I mean it because there's some
What
people
about country?
even country.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people will say I listen to every genre of music, but what they mean is they listen to like pop, but also more pop and also rap.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna hit shuffle on my Spotify liked songs, which is 1,019 songs I have liked on Spotify. And
Is Little Squid on there?
no, Lil Squid is not on my.
Do you know who that is?
That's Jared Van Halen.
Have you ever heard his hit?
No.
Uh, Look him up on Spotify real quick.
I just remember the photo shoot.
Yeah, look him up real quick.
Is he seriously on Spotify?
Yeah, he is. Someone else took over his page, I am seeing, but you just have to go down to albums, and you'll see Squid Thoughts, and that's him. Uh, Hentai. Hentai is his single.
Lil Squid.
And then there's DJ
Yes.
Squid too.
I want to point out that Lil Squid has 27 monthly listeners.
Yeah, someone else took over his profile.
Hentai is number
Which
7 on his most listened.
which means I'm gonna be suing someone soon. Hentai is what? It's what?
It's on the popular songs. It's number 7 out of
Oh
10.
my god. What?
Squid Squad
Well,
is number 6.
congratulations, Jared. Oh, I think I'm in that one, so don't say that one.
And then Deep Sea Blues is number 10.
Man, I think I'm in both of those. I am in both. No, I'm in Deep Sea Blues. Yeah. I did a rap verse for Jared.
Okay, let's see. If I'm gonna randomly shuffle my liked songs on Spotify 5 times. And I will tell you who it is each time. What the
I will
song
guess who it is. Dolly Parton.
is. Okay, it was
Dolly Parton.
the High Kings. Johnny Leave Her.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
The High Kings are an Irish quartet, and they sing like Irish folk music and sea shanties. And Johnny Leave Her is a sea shanty that I'm very fond of. Actually, I've been getting really into Irish folk music as of late. Will it shuffle again? Severed by the Decemberists, and the Decemberists are an indie band who do like weird, interesting things. And Severed opens up with like an 80s style synth riff.
Really?
Yeah. The
I'm looking
theme,
these people up as you say
the theme from the TV show Firefly is the third one. Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire is number 4. Is the fourth one that's come up when I've randomly hit shuffle. And lastly, oh, I missed the button. Greta Van Fleet, Light My Love.
Never heard of that.
And just like if I just go through the queue after I've shuffled, there's Motley Crue, the Scissor Sisters, Old Crow Medicine Show, Steam Power Giraffe, Elton John, Patent Pending, Weezer, Alt J, Yellow Card, Arctic
Lil
Monkeys,
Squid.
Weird Al Yankovic,
Lil
Eminem,
Squid. Oh, I will
specifically
literally pay you. I'll pay you to say Lil Squid.
Lil Squid is not in this list though. I'm not gonna lie, Michael. I don't lie to people.
But you lied earlier about the last time you viewed Lord of the
And
Rings.
then I came clean. I felt so guilty.
Okay.
Also, a song from the musical Cabaret.
And then a High School Musical track.
Tim Minchin, and Tim Minchin is a really funny Australian comedian who does music, like his comedy is all done through music, and he does
I don't like that one guy that's really popular here. What's his name?
Bo Burnham.
Yes.
Kind of like Bo Burnham, but he's like he's not as. Bo Burnham tries to be really edgy,
Yeah.
and Tim Minchin is kind of just more surreal.
I've never really heard Bo Burnham too much.
I'm a fan of Bo Burnham. I do like his work, but some of it I think is a little bit too aggressive, too trying to be edgy.
Like Lil Squid.
The Doctor Who theme. Lady Gaga. Oh, I fucking love Lady Gaga. Panic at the Disco. Forever the Sickest. Yeah. So to illustrate that, yeah, I like a little bit of everything.
So what are we gonna do for the first Twisted track list? Since you just went through all those, do you have any ideas off the top of your
So I
head?
think for the first Twisted track list, which
I think you should have the first say.
I think
idea.
the first Twisted track list specific podcast we were going to do was going to be the next one we do. And I don't know. When's that one going to be going out? It'll be like in December.
December 5th.
So we should do
Yes.
for December. We should do Christmas music.
Okay. Okay.
We have to each bring our like top 5 Christmas songs.
Okay. I know we how are we gonna do this? Are we gonna structure them into a playlist combined?
Maybe, yeah, maybe we can make a playlist. And the two of us
Yeah,
will make a playlist on Spotify, and we'll talk about the
yeah.
songs on them as we go through them, and which one of us
Okay.
added them and why. Um, I will be including Rage Against the Machine because it was Christmas number one.
I'll be including the Die Hard soundtrack.
Yes, Die Hard is the best Christmas movie.
Yeah, I really do think it is.
Anyone who says otherwise can die
They don't
hard.
know what snow is.
No.
Yeah, I mean, or they're deaf because they don't hear at the beginning that it's almost Christmas. I've realized that I'm being really rude to deaf people this podcast
Yeah.
episode.
What is it, Mike? Did like a deaf person stab your mom?
In
Come
a
on, man.
fictional universe, yes, in the metaverse,
In the metaverse. Yes.
the Facebook multiverse.
Oh my God! Did you see that Facebook changed their name? They're Meta
Yes,
now.
that's what I was referring to.
I know
Yes.
you. I know.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm making the allusion to yeah
a segue.
to segue
Yes, that
because
is
not only did
weird.
they do that, but also once they did that, they found out that there was another company already
I
using the name
saw
Meta.
that. Yeah, and then that company was like, "You can have it, but only if you pay us this much million."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically sold their name. Um,
Did it go through? Did they
I don't
did they
know.
get the name?
No idea.
I
I think it. I
I
think
was
they
gonna
did.
say
I imagine they
I
did.
I haven't seen any updates on that.
I imagine they probably did just buy
I can't believe they didn't check before they had a huge
it.
press press release
They
about
probably just.
changing their name.
It was probably just the Zuck going. We're big enough. We can do it anyway if
Yeah,
we want to.
yeah, we can do whatever we want to.
I
Copyright doesn't
I hate
apply to
that
us.
name so much. Meta.
Zuckerberg?
No,
He was
Meta.
born with that name. Oh yeah, I know I do too.
Which also means like the Oculus Rift is now the Meta. Like they call it like the Meta Rift, something like that. So like even
What's that?
like their holdings, Oculus Rift is like a VR headset.
Oh, Facebook did that?
Yeah, so Facebook bought out Oculus like in 2014 or something
Oh,
years ago.
okay. So now it's in the meta.
Yeah, but they changed all of their holdings names as well. I'm pretty sure. Pretty much all of them also got changed to a Meta and then like what they are. So instead of
So
it
why?
instead of it being
What's
the
the point?
Oculus Rift, it's now the Meta Rift, which doesn't exactly roll off the tongue.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
So
indeed it is.
if we put this, if we put a clip of this on Facebook, we need to call it
The
the Live Free Podcast Metaform.
the Metacast.
Man, that's weird.
It
I
is
wonder
weird.
why he did that.
I don't I don't know. It's a really
Yeah,
weird time too as well.
yeah, it really is.
It doesn't make any sense because
No.
Facebook is a name, right? It's established.
Well, now the movie The Social Network isn't going to make sense either.
Yeah.
Have you
What's
seen
this
that?
Facebook you're all talking about?
Yeah, my kid's not going to know what Facebook was.
The Winklevoss twins finally caught up to him.
Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, you've seen that movie though, right?
The Social Network?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it. I know what it is,
Oh,
but I
dude,
haven't
it's so
watched
good.
it.
That's one of my probably my top five.
It's in your top five.
It's really good.
My top
It's a,
five is Star Wars episodes 2 through 5.
you like two.
Yeah.
I really like two too, and a lot of people don't like Attack of the Clones.
Actually, I like all the prequels. I like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
See,
I don't
yeah,
like 7, 8, and 9.
I really like six, also, and I really like three's pretty good. The first one, I think gets a lot of hate,
It does
and it
get a lot
doesn't
of hate,
deserve
and
it doesn't deserve as much hate.
a lot of the
It
hate it
wasn't,
gets is because of Jar Jar.
yeah, it wasn't that bad.
And also, that was 1999, and there was a lot of like experimental special effects being used.
Yeah.
So the special
Yep.
effects in episode 1 look worse than the special effects in like episode 4 and 5.
Yeah. Yep. Episode one's not bad though at
No,
all.
it's one of my favorites, and it's only partially because of Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he did really good.
It
And the
it
Darth Maul sequence is
it
cool as shit.
baffles me how many people like genuinely don't know that's Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. There's people that just
I think
it
it,
doesn't click, and it doesn't baffle me because it took me a long time to realize it too.
I think it
Because
looks like him.
I I think it sounds like him, but it's not a role that Liam Neeson usually has
Well, it's
because
just the
he gets
hair.
the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, it's just the hair. I think that throws
That's
people
part of it
off.
too. Yeah,
Oh
and
man,
also he's very calm for most of the episode.
we have to talk about Liam Neeson's cameo in Ted 2.
Seen Ted 2? I haven't watched Ted
Yeah,
2.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes into the store and Ted's a clerk. And it's like, I would like to buy some Lucky Charms. I think it is. No, Trick cereal. And he's like, it's to my understanding that only kids can purchase this.
I love that.
And Ted goes, no, we don't enforce that really. And Liam Neeson keeps going. So you're sure I won't be followed out of here? If I purchase this cereal, nobody's gonna try to kill me or arrest me.
I can hear that in his voice. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And Ted's just like, no, we don't make enough money for that.
I I like there's like an episode of Family Guy, back to Family Guy, and the entire thing is about Peter beating up Liam Neeson,
Yes,
and he
yep,
just
yeah.
become Liam Neeson's bitch. I love that episode as well.
All the episodes with James Woods too.
Oh yeah, I really like James Woods as an actor, but
Yeah, I
mostly
see. I
because
haven't
of his
seen
performance as Hades in Hercules.
I haven't seen much that he's in, but I do like him in Scary Movie too.
Yeah, I think he
That's
does
like,
really good as like weird roles, obscure roles.
what's something that he's in that I've probably seen? I'm looking it up right now.
Hercules, the
I don't know if I remember
the
that one.
animated movie Hercules, and he plays Hades.
Oh, okay. Yep, okay. But it's animated, so I don't know him.
There's just one teensy teensy weeny little problem. I own you.
See, he hasn't actually been in too many movies.
No,
Yeah, it's
no,
weird.
it's a kind of like a paradoxical thing. So he appears in Family Guy as a celebrity cameo, and it's because of that celebrity cameo he becomes a celebrity. Is really kind of why he's famous. It's because
That is
of him being a cameo.
that is crazy. And he's currently retired.
Yeah,
Why is he retired?
because he's just doing cameos on Family Guy now.
Really?
I guess I don't know.
Man, that's crazy.
There's like one big role that everyone knows him from, right? And that's
That's
Hades
Family Guy.
in Family Guy.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
like
didn't realize that was the joke of Family Guy.
yeah. Also, Danny
The
DeVito,
school's named after him too.
not anymore. It's Adam West now.
Hmm.
They renamed it
Yeah, you are
because
right.
Adam West copped it.
No RIPs though, right?
No, no RIPs for Adam West. He's probably
Yeah,
kicking it.
no. We
He
don't give any off at this podcast.
no, no one gets to rest in peace here,
No, they don't. Only
except
us.
except us, because we've been going on
Yes.
for 2 hours now, and I think I think we've been rambling on long enough to be perfectly
I
honest.
do too. Yes, I
Uh,
do too.
so that was I'm not really sure what that was, to be perfectly honest, but it happened, and
I just want to
um,
apologize in advance.
yeah, that's probably for the best. And also
Yeah.
apologize in following for what we have already said.
I'm
um,
sorry to deaf people that might have heard this.
yeah, for the 12 people that are still listening and aren't asleep, um, thank
Zach, did
you.
you even catch that joke?
Catch what? I'm asleep.
The deaf people that might have heard this.
No, I didn't even hear deaf.
Yeah.
I just heard people.
No, deaf people that
I
might
thought
have
you
heard
said
this.
to the people that might have heard this.
No, no, no.
Oh,
You
well,
didn't think that was funny even after I explained it.
no, because I was still confused.
Man,
The funniest
I feel
part
like that
about
was.
the funniest part about that joke will be the following confusion.
Yeah.
That's your legacy,
You,
Michael.
you really blew it up.
Yeah, just like my
Wow.
girlfriend.
Wow.
That's the tone. I'm not sorry.
Back
and
and better than ever.
and yeah, back by unpopular demand.
Yeah.
The Live Free podcast. Thank you all very much for listening. If you stayed awake this long and bothered to listen to 20, not 20 minutes, 2 hours of
Yep.
us rambling, we really
I
do
bet you wish
appreciate
it
it.
was 20 minutes.
I wish it was 20 minutes. If you did enjoy whatever the hell this was, please do make sure you leave a like and subscribe and follow us on our various social medias. We have a lot of projects we have slated for the near future, so keep tabs on the Facebook and on the YouTubes, and you know
We also have the links to everything in the description of
yes.
the video
But
you're
Michael will
watching.
be uploading the videos, so that's his problem,
Yep,
not mine.
yep, it is. Well, they're actually default.
Oh, they're
The most
default. Ooh, look
yes,
at you, all fancy.
yes, I
Uh,
am. Also, if you have any recommendations on how to fix this, or I guess fix it implies that it's broken.
it's not broken. This is perfect.
Yes.
This is
If you have
perfection.
any suggestions, comment down below.
Yes. Let us know, or like send a letter to
Yes,
Mike's house.
yes. Address
Don't worry about
666
it.
Satan Drive, Hell Boulevard.
Satan Drive and Hell Boulevard.
Yeah, two addresses.
Two addresses.
Yeah, it's a house right in the middle of the street.
it's when I say it's on the corner, it's in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
You gotta drive around the
10.
house.
It's just a 10.
It's just one chair. You'll be able
Yeah.
to tell it's a lantern above it. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate it. Um, I've been Zach, and
I've been Mike with an H.
Michael with an H. That's Zach with a 5, and
Yes.
we'll we'll yeah, this will happen
You'll hear
again
more from us soon.
at some point in the future.
Yes.
Thank you all. Bye.